The purpose of this video is to review the instructions for the Positive Productive Classroom Environment paper. And as a reminder, the instructions can be found in the portfolio instructions document, and there are multiple links throughout the module that you can find the portfolio instructions document. So the directions for this particular paper start at number 2 inside of the document. And just to begin, it is a regular paper format, so you will need to follow APA format style, cover page, reference page, and headings, citations, things of that nature need to follow APA format. Once again, if you're unfamiliar with APA format, Purdue OWL is a great resource to help you with APA formatting, or just going to the old APA handbook. That's what I do. That's what I use to cite and format my papers. So what I wanted to spend some time doing was going over each section of this so you have a better understanding about what I'm looking for in each section. So for the paper, you're going to use a variety of resources. One of those is going to be the Harry Wong book, The First Days of School. I also provided 2 additional resources inside of the module. One of those is a Harry Wong website, Going Beyond, and the other one is a resource called the Teaching Channel. And the Teaching Channel has several videos that you can use for different strategies to create that positive classroom environment. So a paper format, and then in the paper, you're going to write on 3 different sections. And so section 1 talks about how you're going to communicate a positive expectations with students. And so inside section 1, you have numbers 1, 2, and 3. And I see I have a typo there, 1, 2, and 3. And each number is going to be a paragraph. So you'll have a paragraph for section 1, number 1, section 1, number 2, and another paragraph for section 1, number 3. And so how you're going to get to that paragraph is using those resources to augment what you're saying, to support your philosophy or your beliefs on each one of these numbers. So with section 1, number 1, communicating positive expectations to and with students, give me a description of how you're going to communicate those positive expectations. So what's going to be your method or your style in communicating those positive expectations? Number 2 talks about your classroom environment. So not just your communication pieces, but your classroom setting or the classroom culture. How are you going to create a positive environment inside your classroom setting? So think about not only how you communicate with students, but maybe how your room is set up, how you greet students, types of activities you may have students perform to create a positive culture among students. And then number 3 is about having high expectations for yourself as a professional. So how are you going to maintain high expectations for yourself? What are some of those strategies that you might employ to make sure that you're continuing strong throughout the semester, throughout the year? Section 2 has to do with creating a variety of things. Number 1, your first day of school celebration. So Harry Wong really promotes having this celebration the first day of school. So creating an environment that's fun and exciting the first day that they show up. So in number 1, you're just going to describe what that celebration may look like. There's lots of great resources online that would help you come up with some different ideas. Again, his website will give you some ideas, but there's lots of different resources. Maybe even through your observations, you might want to steal some of those ideas for your first day of school celebration. Number 2 is creating a welcoming classroom environment for the first day of school. So not how you're going to celebrate, but how is your classroom going to feel welcoming when the students come in? So what are some of those elements? Number 3 doesn't just pertain to the first day of school, but all year long. How are you going to make sure that students feel safe, how they feel mentally safe and physically safe as they conduct themselves throughout the classroom? And then number 4, how are you going to create an environment that encourages student success all year long? So in what ways are you going to push students to succeed? And then finally in section 3, talks about creating an inviting personality and inviting classroom environment. So number 1 talks more about you. We all have bad days as teachers, but one of the things you're going to have to do is maintain that inviting personality each and every day for your students. So what are some of the methods and tricks and tips that you're going to employ to make sure you have that inviting personality? And then number 2 is about your classroom environment. So one of the problems that happens is sometimes teachers keep up the same stuff on the bulletin boards and outside of the doors and same posters. Well, it gets old. So how are you going to maintain that continual inviting classroom environment throughout the year and not just in the first 6 weeks or 9 weeks? And then lastly, on section 4, you do need to give me a reference page. So that's your reference list, and again, an APA format. As always, if you have any other further questions, you can always email me or come to one of my office hours to have your questions answered.